Welcome back. I'm in conversation with Ashis Nandy on my new book, The Difficulty of Being Good, on the subtle art of Dharma.
I have been interested in the character of Karna for many years. People like Iravati Karve have tried to disabuse us from attributing heroic qualities to Karna. She considers him one of the villains of the epic. Whereas over the last 100 years, Karna has gradually emerged as the primary candidate for being the hero of Mahabharata, neither Krishna, nor Yudhishthira, nor Arjuna. And I would like you to tell us why you identify Karna as a crucial character in Mahabharata.
Well, he's an exceedingly generous human being, valorous, and in the end, when he does not switch sides, the kind of character of a man who sticks by his word. It may be flawed, the word that he has given to Duryodhana. It may be an excessive loyalty for Duryodhana. But nevertheless, I think he has truly heroic qualities, and I think he is definitely a candidate for being the hero of the Mahabharata. Now, Ashish, I'm interested in Karna's status anxiety. That here's a person who desperately wants the world to regard him as a Kshatriya. But he has been brought up by a charioteer, Adhiratha, and his wife, Radha, and the world thinks of him as a Sutaputra. And as you know, Sutaputra today is a word of abuse to an OBC. And only when I saw the pain, the daily slights that he receives in his life, I could understand some of the problems that the OBCs face in our country. And especially when that slight is administered by a beautiful woman that you admire. When Draupadi at her Swayamvara says, after he takes the bow and he strings it and he hits the target and wins, and she says, I won't marry a charioteer's son, a Sutaputra. His face drops. And all the rest of the Mahabharata, you can see that undercurrent of sexual desire. And when he mistreats her, like in the Sabha Parvan, and he's the one who says to Dushasan, strip her. It's the other side of that sexual undercurrent that is coming out.
May I interrupt and point out to you that Draupadi is the current heroine of Indian feminists. And perhaps Indian feminists too have some lessons to learn from this, because insults and humiliations can cross boundaries of persons. You cannot get a perfect heroine for our times.
Yes.
And Karna too was an imperfect hero.
Exactly.
That's what
And
we are arguing.
Ashish, what interests me, where I take this whole Karna chapter, after recounting some of the slights and humiliations that he faces and his great qualities that he exhibits, I really ask myself that we all want to be somebody. We don't want to be a nobody. Imagine if you walked into this room and there was a party going on, there were friends of yours. You want, when you enter, for people to look at you, to smile at you. Imagine if everybody ignores you. How horrible that you feel. And you're a psychologist. And so you can appreciate this tremendous desire of the ordinary ego, ahamkara, I-ness, is like a leaking balloon which needs the praise of other human beings. to decide one's own worth. Our own worth is hostage to the opinion of others.
The sense of humiliation is a very powerful motive. And if I can put it this way, does Karna's revenge in telling Dushashan to strip Draupadi, one of the most ignoble acts in the whole of Mahabharata, seems understandable, if not forgivable?
Well, yeah, it's unforgivable from my perspective. You can see whatever your motivations might be. When you do wrong, you do wrong. And what Karna did that day was wrong. And that's why he's a flawed human being. That's why the Mahabharata is of interest to us, because we all do the same. But it is important to say that it is right.
There was a powerful motive.
Yeah, there's a powerful motive. But Ashish, we cannot excuse that.
No, nobody is excusing it. In fact, it has been accepted as an extremely vulgar, ignoble act.
Yeah. Well, on that note, let's take a break and come back.